Welcome to the station wagon. I'm the older brother, Marc.
And I'm little sister Julie. This is the podcast where my brother and I give up something we take for granted and tell you how it goes.
Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Okay, so this is going to be for a little mini episode just to whet the appetite of our listeners between
Great,
F's.
like a minisode?
Like a mini-sode, yeah.
Oh,
Or
cool.
an epiceta.
Oh,
No?
that's really good. Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you. I
Uh-huh.
can workshop that. Okay, so
Okay.
here's my question for you. How do you do your research?
Yeah, so it varies topic to topic. In general, I think the overall theme is basically stream of consciousness.
That's not a research method.
No, but I'm not a researcher.
Well,
So here's
Maybe-
how it goes. Okay, here's how it goes. So I know that I have to do a quiz and history, right?
yeah.
So for me, the way I start is with the quiz, and I think of the types of questions that I want to try to answer or have you answer. And that-
Impossible to answer ones.
impossible to
And
answer
trick-
ones.
Trick questions. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
just about some topic. And then I will go off into the internet and see if there are answers for those questions.
So you're not even like finding interesting facts and then building questions around those.
No, I do what is interesting to me. Julie, this is all about our passion, right? This is all about us.
That's right. I mean, no, you never claimed you were a professional historian. It's totally cool. It's just that, I mean, I'm a little nervous about putting this out there now because I like to call this a history and science podcast.
Sure,
but I
well,
think we
and
should
it
call
is.
I think we should call it a science podcast and some history because
fine.
for my section, I go through.
No,
the
wait,
peer-
we're not talking about you yet. Is that true? We're still we're
Yes.
talking about me. So
Okay, tell us more about how you do research. Could you hear the air quotes?
I could hear the air quotes.
Okay,
So
just checking.
sometimes the subject matter itself will have topics that are interesting for the quiz. Like when we talked about giving up wearing pants,
Yeah.
I was able to
That's
find
inherently interesting.
yeah, totally inherently interesting. So I was able to find a lot of research about the history of pants and the history of skirts and that sort of thing. So I was able to put that into the quiz.
Okay.
Right. So there was a lot of that sort of thing that got put into the quiz instead of me inductively putting it into the quiz. I don't even know if that's the right way to use that word. Probably not. And then when I get to the history section, I know that I always want to do 7 points because I just figure
Oh.
10 is too many, 5 is too few.
Oh, so you're using like the Miller article from American Psychologist in like 1954 about 7 plus or minus 2.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I just try to find, I use the quiz as sort of the starting point of where I'm going to find the history. And then I go out and I try to find just from the most general things like, what's one of our episodes that we did, Julie?
Wait. When you said go out, you mean go out to the library?
No, I mean go out to the internet,
Oh,
which is scarier
just
than the
checking.
library.
Okay.
Right. And I'll start it really general and I'll say, show me the history of skirts or show me the
Okay.
history of pants. And then as I go and dive into that very general topic, I'll find specifics that are appealing or more interesting to me than the general. And I'll focus in on those things to flesh out the historic timeline.
Fantastic.
That's how I do.
Well, all right. So let's just juxtapose that. I go to the Cochrane Library to start usually because
Is that
when
an
I say
actual
go
place?
to, no, it's online. But they have like the best reviews of just any institution, and so it's a combination of researchers from everywhere. So I always like to start with them because if Cochrane has already reviewed the topic, then look no further, Julie, but that's very rarely the case. So then I'll look at peer-reviewed literature for other summative reviews and like meta-analyses, which look at several peer-reviewed research articles at the same time, because those are the second best right after Cochrane. And then barring that, I'll look at other peer-reviewed research over the last few years. And every once in a while, I'll look at an opinion paper if it's like an especially dry area. And once in a while, I'll bring in like pilot and feasibility research. Like, for example, our most recent episode on looking at humor, a lot of that research I looked at for laughter yoga was pilot data. You know, it's fun. It's like a fun way to do research that has absolutely no bearing on my actual professional life.
So one question, one comment.
Yeah.
So first of all, question, if you said that the Cochrane Library doesn't often meet your needs, why do you go there first?
Just in case.
But you said it doesn't often meet your needs.
Yeah, I mean, they don't always have a literature review for the stupid things we are interested in.
Right. So is it like most of the time they don't always, or just so then why do you start there?
Just in case, because if they do have it, then I don't have to do any more research. Saves me hours and hours.
But it's never saved you hours and hours.
No.
Then why do you keep going there?
Well, I also just kind of like looking through it.
I mean,
because sometimes I'll
now
be
we're
there
getting
and I'll be
to
like,
it. That's
woo!
fine.
Yeah,
good. So you're,
okay.
And then the last thing I just wanted to mention was for me, Wikipedia.
Yeah. Okay. I use Wikipedia once in a while too.
Okay, good.
Okay. Well, everybody, that's how we do research.
That's how it's done, professionally speaking.
I have a question for you, Mark. Since you are, let's just say, on the growing edge of historical research, would you,
What does that mean? No, don't say that.
Okay, if any of our listeners were really into helping you with your research, could they get in contact with you to help you, or would that just, you don't really care?
I don't really care.
Okay. Well, you heard it here, folks. Okay. Well,
if the help requires me to spend more effort on this dumb podcast, then I don't really care.
But we are always interested in, after an episode deploys, if you have additional research that you want to give to us to put online on Facebook or whatever, we'd love to have you join the conversation.
Sure. And when Julie says deploy, she means drops.
Yeah.
You can take the nothing. Never mind.
Okay, good. I'm glad you didn't go there.
Yep.
All right.